Hello, sweethearts. Welcome to this session on PGTRB. Surprise! Today I have included a lot of works and authors from PGTRB exam that will help in GATE, NET, all your set exams, JK set and whatever exam you are writing, you will be benefited from this. Okay, guys? Please don't think this is only for PGTRB. It is going to help all of you. I have made the quizzes in such a way. Okay, guys? Ready? I will start now. How is your day? Everybody fine? Guys, we have a lot of very good authors and works in PGTRB syllabus. Okay? First, in Paradise Lost, Book 9, what does the serpent claim that led him to gain the gift of speech and intellect? In Paradise Lost, Book 9, what does the serpent claim that led him to gain the gift of speech? What gave the serpent the gift of speech in Paradise Lost, Book 9? Bolo. Is it being enticed by the beauty of Eve? Is it disobeying God with reason? Is it eating the savory fruit of one of the trees in the garden? Is it asserting free will? Bolo? It is in Paradise Lost, Book 9. The serpent approaches Eve, praises her as the goddess of the world, as very beautiful. And then Eve is surprised. How come you are speaking with language and reason? How do you have intellect, serpent? And the serpent says, I ate one of the fruits in the garden. That is how I am able to speak with reason. That is right. In Paradise Lost, Book 9, the serpent says that he got the gift of speech and intellect because of eating the savory fruit in one of the trees in the garden. Such questions you will get in GATE. Such questions you will get in NET and SET. For all exams, these are important. So everybody pay attention. Okay, guys. So in Paradise Lost, Book 9, the serpent says, I ate one of the fruit from one of the trees in the garden. That is how I got the gift of speech and intellect. Will you remember? Very good. Welcome to this session, guys. In which of the following works? Can you see properly or should I increase the size? थोड़ा increase करती हूँ, ठीक है? नहीं तो कुछ लोग तो phone पे देख रहे होंगे ना. In phone when you see, probably you won't be able to see properly. मैं थोड़ा बड़ा कर देती हूँ. Okay, guys. Ta-da-dang! Abhi you can see na? In which of the following works does a grieving mother slash at a fruit tree from which her son was hanged? In which of the following works does a grieving mother slash at a fruit tree from which her son was hanged? A grieving mother is sad that her son was hanged from a tree, fruit tree. That is very important. It's a symbol in that play. Thank you, Vishu. It is a fruit tree. It is a symbol. ठीक है? Because the mother is like the fruit tree, and the son is the fruit. The fruit is not now gone. You know, like that, many connections are there. So, PGTRB is Tamil Nadu exam, but it will help everybody. It is the Spanish tragedy. Isabella is slashing at a fruit tree. You know, she's taking chang chang chang. She's slashing at a fruit tree because her son Horatio was hanged from that tree. Later, she jumps and kills herself also. She jumps out of the window and kills herself. Okay. Satya Ramesh, there are many options. You can Google Pay me or you can UPI Pay me. No problem. Next question. In George Herbert's poem, The Pulley, which gift did God withhold from man? God gave man all gifts except one. अरे, it is true in my case. मेरे बारे में ये सच सही है. I don't have it. Is it success, happiness, honesty, or rest? I don't have honesty. I don't have happiness. I don't have success. I don't have rest. George Herbert is talking about the relationship between God and man. ठीक है? George Herbert is talking about the relationship between God and man and says that God did not give man one gift. और ये सब लोग सही बोल रहे हैं. It is rest. You should remember me, okay? When you get this question, you should remember me. Then you will remember. Oh, man doesn't have rest. So George Herbert wrote about that only. Man doesn't have rest. Man and ma'am both don't have rest, okay? Man, M-A-N and M-A-M, okay? Very good, easy to remember. The pulley is a symbol of man's relationship with God. Man and God relationship, pulley. ठीक है? Next, who is the first victim? अच्छो, सब गलती हो गई. Who is the first victim of Subtle and Face? Subtle and Face are two people. Subtle is an alchemist, posing as an alchemist. Face is the butler of Lovett. Subtle and Face are con men. They are fraud people. They are cheating other people. Who is their first victim? Subtle is pretending to be an alchemist. And Subtle is saying, I can turn anything into gold. Subtle is turning everything into gold. He is pretending. अरे वो कुछ नहीं जानता, वो कुछ नहीं कर पाता. Did you understand? And he is pretending that he can turn anything into gold. Who is their first victim? Who is the first victim of Subtle and Face? Bolo? Yes, guys, many of you are telling me right. It is the lawyer's clerk, Dapper. Dapper is the first victim. Today itself, will you read the detailed summary of Alchemist? Detailed summary of Alchemist you should read, okay? Dapper is the first victim, okay? Who disguises as fairy queen in The Alchemist? अरे कोई fairy queen जैसा disguise में आती है. हाँ, फेस का दूसरा नाम है, असली नाम है जेरेमी. Face's real name is Jeremy. Will you remember? Now, ये बोलो, who disguises as? नहीं आरती, pick your mama नहीं. Lovett left his house because of plague in England. Aarti Garg, listen. Aarti, yeah, I will talk in English. Aarti, listen. It is Lovett who left his house and went. Okay? It is not Epicure Mammon. Fairy Queen. Who is disguising as Fairy Queen? It is Doll Common. Who is disguising as Fairy Queen? It is Doll Common. Okay? Character Doll Common in Alchemist. Today itself read a detailed summary of Alchemist. Chapter wise, scene wise, act wise summary. Will you? Okay. Come, come, no time for lamentation now, nor much more cause. In which work does the father lament for his son thus? Is it the Spanish tragedy? Is it Geronimo lamenting for Horatio? Is it Dr. Faustus? In Dr. Faustus's father is lamenting for him. Who is it? Is it Samson Agonistus? Is it the Tempest? Alonso in the Tempest. It could be for Ferdinand. Who laments for his son thus? Come, come, no time for lamentation now, nor much more cause. Famous lines. I got it from David H.S. Famous lines from Samson Agonistus. Manoah is the father of Samson. Manoah lamenting for Samson. When Samson dies, Manoah is lamenting Samson's death. Will you remember? It is Manoah lamenting Samson's death. Manoah is the father of Samson Agonistus. Agonistus means wrestler or champion. Samson Agonistus is a closet drama. Samson Agonistus is a closet drama. And in Samson Agonistus, Samson is imprisoned by the Philistines. Samson is imprisoned by the Philistines. He cannot escape. He is an Israeli wrestler or champion, but he cannot escape because he can't be strong. He is not strong. You know why? Because his hair is cut off by Delilah. Delilah is thinking, I will keep him weak. I will cut off his hair so that he will not fight against the enemies, Philistines. And finally, Samson understands that this is what is happening. Samson prevents Delilah from cutting off his hair. He regains his strength. He pulls down the temple where he is imprisoned. He kills himself and his enemies, the Philistines. Samson kills himself and all his enemies, the Philistines. After that, Manoah, Samson's father, is lamenting, and Manoah is saying, come, come, no time for lamentation now, nor much more cause. Will you remember, guys? Is my acting helping you guys? Samson Agonistus is modeled on Greek tragedy. Everybody pay attention. Is Samson Agonistus is modeled on Greek tragedy, published in the same year as Paradise Regained, 1671. Paradise Lost in 10 parts, published in 1667. Paradise Lost in 12 parts, published in 1674. Samson Agonistus came in the same year as Paradise Regained. Okay, did you understand? Now, who of the following is not in Carlisle's list of heroes? As in Carlisle's list of heroes as men of letters. Hero as man of letters, Carlyle wrote. Do you remember? Hero as man of letters. Who of the following is not part of this list of heroes? Bolo. Is it Dr. Johnson, Rousseau, Burns, Macaulay? Is it Dr. Johnson, Rousseau, Burns and Macaulay? I thought you will say Burns, but yes, it is Macaulay. Carlisle made a list of Dr. Johnson, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Robert Burns as men of letters. Okay, Burns is a poet according to us, but he also wrote commonplace books. Okay, hero as man of letters. Will you remember? Did you like the video, everybody? Thank you, guys. Now, Robert Frost's poem, West Running Brook. Remember, famous poem, West Running Brook. It is by Robert Frost. Bolo, tell me, West Running Brook is written in the form of a dash. West Running Brook is written in the form of a dash. Tell me, West Running Brook is written in the form of a West Running Brook is written in the form of a dialogue between a man and a woman. Okay? West Running Brook is written in the form of a dialogue. Can you see me, guys? Is anything wrong? Everything is right, na? Okay, all right. So, West Running Brook is in the form of a dialogue between a man and a woman. Remember, okay? Man and a woman. Then, it is also prescribed for PGTRB. The wreck of the Deutschland is about 5 nuns. They drowned in a shipwreck, okay? 5 Franciscan nuns who drowned. And what is important about these women, these nuns? They were in an anti-Catholic protest. They were fleeing religious oppression at home. They were politically involved in building a unified German state. They were resisting oppression in church. Which of these is the answer? The wreck of the Deutschland is about 5 Franciscan nuns who were, which of these? In an you can't see, I'm sorry, I will correct it, okay? I will correct it. 1 second. Ta-da-dang. Now you can see, now. These 5 Franciscan nuns were in an anti-Catholic protest. So now everybody listen. There are nuns only in Catholicism. There are nuns only in Catholicism. There are no nuns in Protestantism, okay? Nuns means they are Catholics. They were fleeing religious oppression at home. That is the answer. These 5 Franciscan nuns were fleeing oppression at home, religious oppression at home. Will you remember, everybody? They were from Germany only. They are German nuns. Okay. Out of the cradle endlessly rocking shows the maturation of a boy into a poet. Ayo, don't you know? This is Wreck of Deutschland by Hopkins. By Gerard Manley Hopkins. Wreck of Deutschland is a very famous book by Gerard Manley Hopkins. Okay. Now, Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking by Walt Whitman. This is by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman's Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking shows the maturation of a boy into a poet. What experience leads him to this maturation? What experience leads him to mature from a boy into a poet? It is birth of the poet genre. Birth of the poet genre. Is it experience of love and death? Is it experience of violence and corruption? Trauma and redemption? Guilt and penance? Bolo? Tell me. Walt Whitman's Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking. Yes, it is love and death. Let me tell you the story. I will tell you the story. One boy is on Paumanok Beach. Paumanok means Long Island in New York. Paumanok Beach. And he sees every day on the beach there is a tree, and on the tree one male bird and female bird are there, okay? A male bird and female bird are there. One day the female bird goes missing. The female bird is missing. Nobody knows where she is. Then the male bird starts crying for the female bird, and the boy is so sad hearing the male bird's cries. The boy is so sad. He wants to know why there is so much suffering in this world. So he asks the ocean. The ocean waves are coming and going like a cradle, endlessly rocking. Ocean waves are coming and going. The boy asks, these birds came from Alabama, correct? And the boy asks, what is the meaning of life? Why is there suffering in this life? And the ocean whispers to him one word. What is that one word? Death. The ocean whispers to him one word, that is death. Yes, it is like Ramayana, like Valmiki got inspired by the birds. And this experience of love of the birds and the suffering and death, that changes the boy from an immature boy to a poet. Did you understand, everybody? The ocean answered, death. That's right. So out of the cradle endlessly rocking shows the maturation of a boy into a poet because of his experience of love and death. Okay, did you understand? Are you enjoying this session? Am I teaching you properly? Okay, guys. Which of the following writers is associated with the concept of man thinking? Very famous concept. Man thinking. You know, we should be thinking on our own. We should not be copying other people. That is the idea. You should depend on your own thinking. So, man thinking. Learn from nature. Trust yourself. You don't have to depend on anybody else. You are capable of passing PGTRB. You are capable of passing NTA NET. You are all amazing people, geniuses. You will be great professors. You will have wonderful jobs. You will inspire everybody. Who said all this? I am not saying it. Somebody else said. Yes, it is Ralph Waldo Emerson in American Scholar. In the essay American Scholar, Ralph Waldo Emerson talked about man thinking. Man thinking means it is everything, or the power is within us. Rely on yourself. Self-reliance is related to this. Did you understand, everybody? Emerson's man thinking. Wow. Is this helping you guys? Will you be able to remember because I'm teaching you like this? Wonderful. I want your feedback. Only then I'll be more and more inspired to do good things. To whom is the poet apostrophizing in the poem Passage to India? To whom is the poet apostrophizing? He's addressing somebody. He's calling somebody. Is it humanity? Is it India? Is it his own soul? Is it America? To whom is the poet apostrophizing? Did you watch today's PGTRB Surrey poem? I had posted a Surrey poem. Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey. His own soul is correct. In Passage to India, he is talking about his own soul. Listen, everybody. Walt Whitman says, passage, O soul, to India. That is the opening line. Passage, O soul, to India. He is asking his own soul to undertake a metaphoric journey to India. He is asking his own soul to undertake a metaphoric journey to India. Will you remember? Walt Whitman is asking his own soul to undertake a metaphoric journey to India. All right. Next question. At the beginning of the prelude, the poet talks about Derwent. The poet talks about Derwent. ये सब गलत हो गया. What is Derwent? This is the question. At the beginning of the prelude, the poet talks about Derwent. What is Derwent, or who is Derwent? Is it his childhood friend? Is it a river? Hello, Prince Master. How are you? Are you benefiting from this session? Hello, everybody. At the beginning of the prelude, wow, so many said the correct answer. What is Derwent? Derwent is a river. Derwent is a river. Okay, whatever poems are prescribed for you, read at least the opening, okay? At least the opening lines. They will ask you some questions from opening lines. In Emma, what do Emma, Frank and Jane play? Is it a word game? Is it crochet? Is it cricket? Is it hide and seek? Thank you, Prince Master. Shamina. Thank you, Shamina. Tell me, in Emma, what do Emma, Frank Churchill and Jane Fairfax play? Is it a word game? Crochet? Yes, Prelude is subtitled Growth of a Poet's Mind. It was published in 14 parts in 1850. It was published in 13 parts in 1805. Is it a word game? Crochet? Cricket yoga? Or cricket or... yes, word game. They play with the word blunder. Charades. You know, Frank is making some model with children's blocks and other people have to guess it. It is charades. Yes, correct. And they play with the word blunder. Okay, blunder. It is a word game. Okay, which of the following is not a theme in Christ's Hospital? The essay by Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb wrote about his school days. About his school days. He wrote Christ's Hospital. Christ's Hospital. Christ's Hospital 5 and 30 years ago. That is a full title. Christ's Hospital 5 and 30 years ago. Which of the following is not a theme in Christ's Hospital? Can you guess? The school authorities' harsh punishment of the boys. The ill treatment of junior students by seniors. The author's loneliness among 600 boys. The greed and indifference of nurses in the school. All the above is correct. All these are there in Christ's Hospital School. All these are there. Sorry. All the above are there. That is the answer. Okay. So listen everybody. Christ's Hospital School. In that essay, Charles Lamb talks about the school authorities' harsh punishment of the boys. The ill treatment of junior students by seniors, ragging. The author's loneliness among 600 boys. And also the greed and indifference of the nurses in the school. Will you remember? Ta-da-dang. Well, these are all kind of themes. These are all like treated. In exam also some kind of mistake will be there. Instead of feature or something, they'll say theme. No problem. Which of the following works begins with the words I weep? Bolo, tell me. Which of the poems begins with the words I weep? Is it Adonai, the Scholar Gypsy, Ode to Dejection, Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking? You can, by extension, you can say it is theme. Theme is, one theme is ill-treatment of students. One theme is his loneliness. Why not theme? It is also theme. You know what you're doing? You're doing nitpicking. That means unnecessarily small, arguably, problems, arguably they are problems. Not really. In exams, there will be 100 this kind of questions where you can do nitpicking. But nitpicking will not help you pass and get a job, will it? That is right, guys. I weep for Adonai, he is dead. That is the opening line. Which of the following works begins with the words I weep? It is Adonai. Okay, Satyashilan, if question is wrong, I bear it. Adonai, I weep for Adonai. He is dead. That is the very famous opening of Adonai. Why is it famous? Because that opening shows very direct approach. It shows a very direct approach. So what? Which of the following is not a theme? If you are used to my method of teaching, you will know that I usually do this. I will give questions like this and say, I was pulling your leg, I was cheating you, all of these are themes. It is not a wrong question. That is my method. And I have gone and talked about it in other countries also where they have applauded it. If you don't like it, I don't care. I am sure it will help you remember. That is why I am using this method. It is not a wrong question. Okay? All right? Okay. I weep for Adonai, he is dead. That is famous because it is a direct approach. No beating about the bush. The opening is very direct. Shelley's opening of Adonai is very famous. If you pay attention to extra things that I am saying like this, it will help you in the exam. In which of the following poems does the speaker see the image of death in life and life in death? Tell me. Death in life and life in death is a very famous expression in which poem? Is it The Ancient Mariner, Byzantium, The Wasteland, Mort to the Other? Bolo, tell me. This is a tricky question. You know why? This is a tricky question. The Ancient Mariner has not death in life and life in death, but death and life in death. The ship approaches. Remember, everybody, please pay attention. The ship approaches, and in the ship, death and life in death are playing dice. Did you understand? It is a tricky question because of that. Death and life in death. It is Byzantium, correct. In Byzantium, the expression death in life and life in death is there. Listen, everybody, listen, I will explain. In Byzantium, the speaker is going to Byzantium. It is night time. All the people have gone inside the pavement, outside the, emperor's palace. There is nobody. Everybody has gone inside. And then suddenly the speaker sees an image rising. Are you paying attention, everyone? The speaker sees an image rising. No problem, Satyashilan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I thought I cleverly made that question so that it will help you remember. And then Satyashilan is saying it is wrong question. I don't want to play with Satyashilan. Satyashilan is not appreciating my question, my cleverness. Like that I thought. That is why I said. I feel like we are playing a game together and I'm cleverly cheating you. For your good only though. Sorry, Satyashilan. No, it is not negative. He was just helping me to understand. That question is wrong, ma'am. That is not what you asked. He was helping me, but it was my clever cheat question, Satya. I know when I cheat you, you will remember it. That is why. Sorry. Sorry. I shouldn't have said like that. Okay, listen everybody. In wasteland, this theme is there. This wasteland is full of this theme. This theme is there in the wasteland. Did you understand? Death in life and life in death. So explain. I will explain. Okay, listen to me. I will explain. You know, people in the wasteland, they are living. They are alive, but they are not living. There is nothing in their life. There is no joy in their life. There is no direction in their life. Did you understand? It is life in death. That is called life in death. In Ancient Mariner, I'm explaining, listen. In Ancient Mariner, after the albatross is killed, a skeleton ship approaches. Skeleton ship approaches. There, death is a woman. She is playing dice with life in death. Did you understand? Death and life and death are playing dice. Did you understand? And death says, I want all the crew members. Life and death says, I want Ancient Mariner. So Ancient Mariner is alive, but he is living like he is dead, like the wastelanders. Did you understand? That is called life in death. Death in life and life in death. That it is almost similar. Death in life means, death-like situation in life. Life in death means you are dead, but that has some life in it. Similar only. So Byzantium has these words in the poem. These words are there in the poem. Death in life and life in death. Okay? Death in life and life in death. You know, Satyashilan, when you said it is wrong question, ma'am, I felt like crying. No, it is clever question. I was trying to make you remember. I wanted to cry. So now, listen to me. Don't waste time. Listen. Next question. Whose autobiography is also called Toward Freedom? Is it Rabindranath Tagore, Jawaharlal Nehru, R.K. Narayan, or Mulk Raj Anand? Whose autobiography is also called Toward Freedom? It is Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru's an autobiography. It is also called Toward Freedom. Okay. Did you know, everybody? I'm going to announce my net course probably tomorrow or day after. All details I'm working on. How many days I will teach. How will I teach. We formed a Telegram group. New Telegram group where if you are interested in knowing about our net course, you can join that group. Okay, no need of money or anything. Just join. We will have fun there also. So, I am just posting the link here. If you want to know about our upcoming course, you can join this group. Okay? Okay. The more the merrier. Let us all have fun. Whose autobiography? Jawaharlal Nehru's autobiography is also called Toward Freedom. Okay. Then, in which industry does Stanley Kowalski, in a streetcar named Desire, work? Now at this time in the Depression era, just before the Depression era, there were a few industries that were very famous. Stanley Kowalski worked in that industry. Our free course is there, paid course is also there. Whatever you want, you can have. Paid course is there, free course is there. I am determined to help all of you. I am determined to make you pass. I am determined that money should not be your problem in studying. As long as I am alive. As long as God helps us. So no problem. Whether you have money or not, whether you want to spend money or not, I'm there. No worries. Tell me. Yes, it is automobile industry. He is an automobile spare parts dealer. At this time, in the Depression era, automobile industry and radio industry are very famous. Automobile industry and radio industry are very famous. 200 people are watching. 200 people are watching. Okay. So, Stanley Kowalski is in automobile industry. Remember, okay? Very, very important. Which of the following is true about the protagonist of Kamala Markandeya's A Handful of Rice? Which of the following is true about the protagonist of Kamala Markandeya's A Handful of Rice? Today something happened. I will tell you, okay? One good story happened. One lovely story happened in my life, in our tests. I will tell you, okay, after this question. I should write a short story about it. What I'm going to tell you about. We can write a short story about it. Which of the following is true? Tell me. The degrading and regressive hold of tradition over human life. Handful of Rice, protagonist, highlights the brighter prospects of industrialization. Serves as a lesson in the miseries of rustic life and values. A young man from a village leaves his desolate home for the promise of the city. First you tell me this. Good question, Hannah. One brilliant young man made these options. Tell me who? One brilliant young man made these options. Tell me who? Every day I am happy. Life is beautiful. Yes. Listen to me. What is true about the protagonist of Kamala Markandeya's Handful of Rice? Is it about the bad, regressive hold of tradition? Means what? Is it about the bad influence of tradition? What is the second point? This second point, industrialization as good. Industrialization as good. Third is misery of rustic life. Fourth is a young man goes from his desolate village to the promise of the city. That is the answer. His name is Ravi. And the young man who made these options is my husband. Correct. Both answers correct. Now, shall I tell you my story, short story? No, learn with Saurabh. If you read properly, you will understand the brighter prospects of industrialization. No. City is actually cheating him actually. No. It is not completely true. It is the last one only. Listen, I will tell you the story briefly. One student called me and said, ma'am, I want to know about course. And I said, hey, they want to see you. Come, they want to see you. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. This is my husband who made these options. This is the handsome young man who made these options. Okay, now let me tell you my story. A student called me and said, I want to know about your course. And then this person said, I am in my BA and I have some, I asked him, he sounded like he has some problem about course. He did not want to attend or something. He said, what will be fees like? I said, do you want any help? Do you want to study? And he said, yeah, I want to, but I am not making a lot of money. I am from a poor family. I said, do one thing. And he said, I want to pass entrance exam of English MA. I said, do one thing. I will send you my chota sa ek crash course is there. I will send it to you. Only 800 rupees it is, recorded course. you are only BA student and you want to study, and he's taking tuitions, he said. So I said, no problem, don't pay me anything. I will send you the complete course, okay? And then later on, if you want, you can join. Abhi to right now you study with this course. There are 30 lectures, 800 rupees only. You can, I will send it to you, okay? He did not ask me. I said, okay, I will send it to you. And immediately, I sent him the course. Within 15 minutes, somebody told me, one boy is selling your material. Don't help such people, ma'am. And I looked at it and it was this boy. And I sent a message to him. I'm so sad that you're doing this. It was not the course that I sent him. Some other course he is selling. My material. He says he is selling. And I texted him saying, I'm so sad that you are doing this. And मैंने कुछ और नहीं बोला. I just didn't say anything. And then immediately he called me. He said, ma'am, I'm guilty. I did it. I'm so sorry. I'm guilty. You should understand that I tried to sell your course before you talked to me, before we talked. After we talked, I understood you're a wonderful person. And then I felt very guilty. I was telling my brother I did this mistake. I should not have cheated her. And I went and deleted it also. I will never do it. And then he said, मुझसे गलती हो गई. I'm so sorry. I won't do it. Please trust me. I will not do it again. I have changed. You have taught me a lesson, he said. And then I started crying. I felt so sad. I was so touched. I said, no problem. I trust you. And then I started crying. And then he also started crying. And he said, no, ma'am, I won't do it again. I have changed. Because you showed kindness to me, suddenly I realized how big it is not to cheat a person like you. I don't want to be immoral. I will never do it again. And we both cried on the phone. It was so beautiful. And immediately I sent him that course. I said, no problem, you study. No problem, I will help you. Just let me know if you need something. No problem, I said. I felt so good, so good. This is the story that happened today. Did you like it? I loved it. Yes. So, people do things because out of desperation, but it's okay. It is to study and to survive, na? All of us are struggling to survive, na? No problem. No problem. So, did you understand this question? The protagonist of Kamala Markandeya's Handful of Rice, it is a young man from a village leaving the desolate home for the promise of the city, and he's struggling in the city, okay? He's struggling in the city. These are all not completely right. This only is completely right. What is the central theme of William Faulkner's the Nobel the Nobel Prize acceptance speech? What is the central theme of William Faulkner's Nobel Prize acceptance speech? Is it rise of population will lead to destruction of humanity? Is it despite humanity's dilemmas, we will prevail? Is it the present catastrophes of humanity will lead to the end of civilization? Is it humanity is heading for inevitable disaster using science as its potent tool? Arey bas karo, don't say all that. I'm going to cry otherwise. Don't say anything. What is the central theme of Faulkner's Nobel Prize acceptance speech? See, this is negative. Rise of population will destroy humanity. That is negative. This is third one is also negative. Fourth one is negative. Answer is B. Despite humanity's dilemmas, we will prevail. All right, everybody. That is the theme of Nobel Prize acceptance speech. Many of you are trying to make me cry. I'm not going to cry, okay? Which of the following poem or poems was analyzed by William Emerson in his discussion of the seventh type of ambiguity? Which of the following poem or poems was analyzed by William Emerson in his discussion of the seventh type of ambiguity? Bolo. It is Hopkins's Winnower, correct. George Herbert's Sacrifice, correct. George Herbert's Sacrifice and Hopkins's Winnower, correct. Milton's Paradise Lost, it's a very big poem. No. Henry Vaughan's Waterfall also, no. Okay. William Emerson in discussing seventh type of ambiguity talked about Hopkins's Winnower, George Herbert's Sacrifice. George Herbert's Sacrifice. Will you remember? Ta-da-dang. Achoo. Kya hua? 1 second. Ayyo. 1 minute, guys. Ting ting. Next. ठीक हो गया. It's correct. Ami. Ayyo. Okay. We should conceive of poetry worthily and more highly than it has been the custom to conceive of it. We should conceive of it as capable of higher uses and called to higher destinies than those which in general men have assigned to it hitherto. Very famous statement made by whom in which essay? I will do one video on ambiguity, okay? Ashtadhamu. I will do a video on ambiguity. I will post teaching videos. Bolo, tell me. We should conceive of poetry worthily, more highly than it has been the custom to conceive of it. High conception of poetry. Who talked about it? Poetry is capable of higher uses. Who said? Poetry is capable of higher uses, said Arnold in the study of poetry. Arnold said in the study of poetry. Okay? Got it? Then, it was in January of 1798 that I rose one morning before daylight to walk 10 miles in the mud to hear this celebrated person preach. Who is the celebrated person Hazlitt describes here? Who is the celebrated person Hazlitt describes here? Shamina. Sometimes they will ask lengthy question. Sometimes they will ask. Okay, I will do ambiguity and Carlisle's hero as man of letters if possible. I am not utna bada, not such a big scholar, but I will try, okay? Seventh type of ambiguity and hero as man of letters. ठीक है, okay. In Hazlitt's acquaintance with the poets, he talks about having walked to listen to Coleridge give a sermon. My first acquaintance with the poets. S.T. Coleridge is the one who is doing the preaching. Hazlitt is going to listen to S.T. Coleridge preach. Okay, that is the celebrated person here. Which character in The Way of the World says this? Ay, there is my grief. That is the sad change of life, to lose my title yet keep my wife. He doesn't want to lose his title. He says the sad change of life is lose my title yet keep my wife. If you know the story, you will know. Who doesn't? My first acquaintance with the poets, yes. Somebody in Way of the World doesn't want to lose his title and yet keep his wife. Which character said that? It is No, no, no. Lose my title. It is wait well. Title is Sir Rowland. Title is Sir Rowland. Wife is he got married, है ना? Waitwell got married just to cheat Lady Wishfort, and he is pretending as Sir Rowland. At the end of the play, he will lose his title, Sir Rowland, but he will be stuck with his wife, foible. Wife is foible. Did you understand the story? Mirabell wants to cheat Lady Wishfort, for which he is asking Waitwell, the servant, to pretend to be Sir Rowland. And he also got Waitwell to marry Foible. Did you understand? It is Waitwell. No confusion, right? No confusion, Hannah? No. Be with me always. Take any form. Drive me mad. Only do not leave me in this abyss where I cannot find you. Which character speaks these lines? Is it Krishnan in The English Teacher? Is it Linda in Death of a Salesman? Isabella in The Spanish Tragedy? Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights? Krishnan is talking about Sushila after she dies. Is it true? Is it Linda talking about Willy Loman? Is it true? Is it Isabella talking about Horatio? Is it true? Is it Heathcliff talking about Kathy? Ta-da-dang! Did you like the questions? Did you like the questions I made? Aren't these intelligent questions? It is Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff is talking to Kathy after death. Congreve's views on women. Think about Lady Wishfort. Think about Millamant. In all his plays is a very general question, because there is a big difference between Congreve's earlier plays and Way of the World. Way of the World shows women as powerful and capable of being chaste. Capable of being chaste. Millamant is chaste. And earlier plays are very different. Very immoral. Right. What is the central theme of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Is it an imperfect marriage? Professional jealousy? Mental disorder? The failure of philosophy? What is the central theme in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? I will explain, okay? I will explain this. Listen, guys. In Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf, there are two couples, George and Martha. They are inviting Nick and Honey. George and Martha are older people. They are professors. And Nick and Honey are visiting them. At that time, George and Martha are acting a little weird. They are not mad, but they are acting like eccentric. They start fighting. They start saying unbelievable things. And at the end, we come to realize that George and Martha do not have a perfect marriage. They are imagining that they have a son. They don't really have a son. They are imagining that they have a son. They are pretending that they have a son. And finally, at the end of the play, they destroy that illusion. They tell each other that their son is dead. They tell each other that their son is dead. Did you understand? That is the theme of Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf. It is imperfect marriage. All right, then. Tagore's play Muktadhara is a symbolic representation of Muktadhara is a symbolic representation of class pretensions, colonial exploitation, capitalistic greed, communal intolerance. Yes, Bubbly, who's afraid of Big Bad Wolf? That is a song. தமிழ் தெரியும் எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் தெரியும். Who is afraid of Virginia Woolf is a variation of who is afraid of the big bad wolf. That means who is afraid of illusions. Who is afraid of illusions? It's colonial exploitation. It's a political play, okay? Tagore's play Muktadhara is a political play. They are not actually, they don't have mental disorder. It is not mental disorder. Tagore's play Muktadhara is about colonial exploitation. It's a political play. Will you remember? Then, in A.K. Ramanujan's obituary, which of the following did the speaker's father not leave behind? Now Satyashilan will scold me. Tell me now, that is the clue. தமிழ் பேசி ப்ராக்டிஸ் இல்லை, அதனால கொஞ்சம் தான் பேச முடியும். ஆனால் ரொம்ப டிசைர் இருக்கு தமிழ் பேசுறது இருக்கு. ஐ எம் நத்திங். Bolo na. Muktadhara is waterfall. Dusty papers, deaths and daughters, a changed mother. Suno guys. Satyashilan will scold me. So now tell me. All of these are there. At the end of the poem, he talks about his father leaving a changed mother and more than one ritual in a year. At the end of the poem obituary, he talks about his father leaving a changed mother and more than one ritual in a year. Dusty papers, deaths and daughters, a changed mother, many rituals. So, you know, all these are there. All these are left. Trick question. Okay? All these are there. Obituary. Read all these poems, okay? Prescribed poems you should read. Only then you will be able to write all the answers. நான் கொஞ்ச நாளுக்கு முன்னாடி தமிழ்நாட்டில் தான் இருந்தது. சேலத்துக்கு பக்கம் குமரபாளையத்தில். அப்போ தமிழ் பேசி இருந்தது. ஆனால் இப்போ ஞாபகம் இல்லை. இப்போ ப்ராக்டிஸ் இல்லைன்னா பேச முடியல. See, next question. Which of the following has a section inspired by H.W. Fowler's A Dictionary of Modern English Usage? Did you know this? Which of the following has a section inspired by H.W. Fowler's A Dictionary of Modern English Usage? Did you know this? You should read about it, everybody. Not only PGTRB people. It is James Thurber's The Owl in the Attic. It is prescribed in many universities. Okay? James Thurber's The Owl in the Attic. Important. It is a funny book. The Owl in the Attic and Other Stories. It is about humorous stories. Okay? Listen, okay? Everybody should read a little extra. Oh, and Barasu's native place is Kerala. Wow. Which of the following is not an argument in The Novelist as Teacher by Chinua Achebe? Do you know I am running PGTRB quizzes? I am giving quizzes for practice. If you want PGTRB quizzes or any link, just WhatsApp me. Just WhatsApp me, you will get the links. PGTRB quizzes that I am giving is only 300 rupees. Very inexpensive. Tell me which of the following is not an argument. A novelist is primarily a teacher. Correct. Hey, correct. Correct. A novel is primarily a teacher. A novelist should educate the readers. An African novelist should educate both African readers and European readers. A novelist should reinstate a sense of pride in one's culture. A novelist should bring about a sense of pride in one's culture. Correct. A novelist should reconstruct language. That is wrong. I made it up. A novelist should reconstruct language. I made it up. Yesterday, I started PGTRB quizzes. WhatsApp me, you will get the link. Only 300 rupees. It is worth it. Nobody will have any problem because it is worth it. So many questions are there. Novelist as teacher. Novelist should reconstruct language. Then, which of the following is not a feature of American English? Which of the following is not a feature of American English? American English intonation does not rise or fall as much as that of British English. American English does not have intonation that rises and falls. American voices usually have a higher pitch. American voices usually have a higher pitch. American pronunciation is more nasalized. Americans speak like this in a nasal tone. Americans speak like this in nasal tone. There are differences in the pronunciation of vowels and consonants. Bolo, tell me. Which of these is not a feature? Again, you people will scold me. So what is the answer? Array, my intention is to give you all the features. These all are features of American English. All these are features. All these are features of American English. Will you study, guys? American English intonation does not rise or fall. Correct? Hey, it is correct. American voices usually have a higher pitch. Correct. American pronunciation is more nasalized. Correct. There are certain differences in the pronunciation of vowels and consonants. Okay? Ta-da-dang! Which of the following is not an example of Indianism? Which of the following is not an example of Indianism? My manager is from Delhi only. She is my cousin sister. The meeting has been preponed to Saturday. She is in the family way. The food was too good. Tell me, which of these is not an example of Indianism? Indianism. Ta-da-dang! All these are examples. Such questions you will get. All these are examples of Indianism. Then, the word hamburger is an example of hamburger. Is it clipping, affixation, reanalysis, initialism? What is the meaning of clipping? Burger from hamburger. That is clipping. Instead of hamburger, we start saying burger. Affixation means adding prefix or suffix. Affixation means adding prefix or suffix. Reanalysis means originally one meaning is there, but later changes happen. Answer is reanalysis. Listen, I will explain. Originally the name means from Hamburg. Hamburg is a place. From Hamburg is the meaning. But later it got reanalyzed and meaning became ham plus burger. Original meaning is from Hamburg. Original meaning is from Hamburg. Then it got reanalyzed as now ham plus burger. That is new meaning. It is wrong. It is reanalysis. Got it, everybody? Got it, everyone? Teaching methods. Silent Way is by Caleb Gattegno. Silent Way, propounded by Caleb Gattegno. Reanalysis means originally one meaning is there. It becomes reanalyzed into a new meaning. Originally one meaning is there. It becomes reanalyzed. It gets reanalyzed into a new meaning. Everybody clear? Taradang, which American president tried to bring about spelling reforms? Which American president tried to bring about spelling reforms? I will tell you guys, it is Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt. Which of the following, who of the following in the 17th century wrote a table alphabetical, which is an early dictionary? A table alphabetical is an early dictionary of the 17th century. Who made it? Who made it? Dictionaries, they will ask. It is Robert Cowdery. Robert Cowdery. Early English dictionaries. You should Google search and study, okay? Early English dictionaries. Google search and study. Will you do that? They will ask questions. Alright, guys. So, that is about 17th century dictionaries. And that is the last question for today. Did you like the questions, everybody? I will post it in our Let's Test public group, okay? Just WhatsApp me, get the links. All these links are very useful for you. I will never cheat you. Just use them to your best benefit. 9037357688 is my WhatsApp number. You can join PGTRB quizzes even though it is only for a few days. After that, for 4 months till June, I will continue PGTRB quizzes. Okay? And remember, all these I will give in the quiz also. Online quiz as well as Telegram group. Okay, guys. Good night. Bye-bye. Tomorrow, I will come with another model test. Okay? Tomorrow also, you should join us. Okay. Tomorrow, for PGTRB also, it will be helpful. For GATE also, it will be helpful. Okay? Alright? Don't forget to join us. Bye. See you tomorrow. I will post some more videos. Okay? I will